young aspirational population, driving domestic travel to record highs, a government that has placed tourism at the heart of its economic agenda, and a global traveler increasingly curious about everything this country has to offer. The opportunity is real, the intent is clear. What the industry needs now is a roadmap. To share his perspective on where India's tourism sector is headed, we turn to the most authoritative voice in the room. Please welcome IAS Secretary to the Ministry of Tourism, Dr. Srivatsa Krishna, in conversation with a man who's a builder of institutions, a trusted voice across every dimension of Indian real estate, Mr. Anuj Puri.
Thank you very much, and very good morning. Sorry, this is too loud. Maybe it needs to be loud this morning. I must have done, I don't know, maybe 10,000 talk shows. I probably do 500-600 a year talk shows. I haven't been as nervous as I am for this 25 minutes that I'm going to be on the stage. And the reason that I am nervous is that when I read Dr. Krishna's CV, it was just like, I fell off the chair. I'll give you just 3 or 4 points in that is, one, he was ranked #1 amongst 600,000 candidates who took the National Civil Services exam. #1 among 600,000. I was saying, how many centers would it be really where you have to stand as #1? I've never interviewed a guy who stood up #1. I really interviewed developers who are, very difficult to pass 10th grade only. That is what it is. And then I went in and looked at the profile. I mean, clearly, super well accomplished. The first guy who completed, as the serving IAS officer, the Harvard Business School MBA, IIT Madras alumni, Oxford University, Jawaharlal Nehru University. The only thing that is common between him and me is we both are from Shri Ram College of Commerce in Delhi. That is the only thing that I have felt common. And as I was sitting down with him, he said is that after taking charge, it is his first public speech. He has not, done the public speaking. So the first one after having taken charge of this is, as we go through, you'll also find his number of interests that he has is he's also an angel investor and a great singer.
Let's... उन्होंने timer on कर दिया. When he started introducing, he told me 25 minutes. So already 10 पे पहुंच गए.
हमारा show है sir.
अच्छा.
So, the first one is, I have seen how you have transitioned Cyberabad. I mean, I don't know how many of you have seen the journey of what happened in Cyberabad. I mean, it was a sleepy town. Nobody would go in there. Nothing would happen. I used to run a company at that time called as Jones Lang LaSalle. We would just not, go in there. We would like written it off as a tier 2, tier 3 small little town. And then Dr. Krishna comes on the scene and transforms it completely into a tech world. And today, if you look at it, it's the second most vibrant city after Bangalore. My question to you, sir, is that how you've been able to transform Cyberabad. What are the lessons that we can learn from, scalability that has been achieved, digitization that has been done in Cyberabad for the tourism industry in India?
Firstly, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm grateful to Mr. Lamba for inviting me. You've started off with a very different topic, that is Cyberabad. And see, the clear answer is there are 3 things which are important. And I think in many ways, those 3 things are coming together for the tourism industry now.
Nice.
The first, it wasn't me. It was the political leadership which made it happen. At that time, Mr. Chandrababu Naidu was the chief minister. He was a young chief minister who was 41. In India, you don't assume a political office of that kind at 41. He did. And he had a remarkable vision of how he wanted to build his legacy. And he handpicked each one of us. And it wasn't me alone. We are a team of 5 or 6 people. So the first is extraordinary political leadership.
I agree with you.
And I dare say, and I have said this, I'm not saying this because I'm in this role. I'm in this role only for 10 weeks. If you Google, read my article in the Wall Street Journal 9 years ago, and in Financial Times 12 years ago, the op-ed, I wrote about this Prime Minister. We have the best political leadership today India has ever had.
Absolutely.
There's absolutely no two ways in it. They have done many things right, and I'm happy to speak about them. They've also done some things wrong. And, you know, when you set out on a very ambitious agenda of the kind which the government has and the Honorable Prime Minister has, you are bound to do well in some areas, you're bound to not do well in some areas. That's life. So the analogy is, first, we have far better political leadership. At that time, we had a visionary in Chandrababu Naidu. Here, we have a hyper-visionary in Mr. Narendra Modi as our Prime Minister. So that first ingredient is there. The second ingredient is when Cyberabad started off, you needed a lot of people to come together. This is not a government show alone. Let's be clear, and I say this openly at several meetings, we cannot do this by ourselves. And tourism in particular, it's not a central subject. It is not on the concurrent list. It's not on the state list. People seem to think it's a state subject. It is not on the state list.
I didn't know that. I thought
it is not on this. Even I thought so. And when I actually pulled it out, it is what is called residual and therefore comes with the center and the states together. It's not on the concurrent list. Now, having said that, I for one believe change of any kind, especially on the scale we are talking about, has to happen by the private sector, government, not-for-profits, the community coming together. I think that also is shaping up very well at this moment in history. And the third and most important thing is, what is if you see the political leadership today, at the top we have the Honorable Prime Minister, and we have a remarkable tourism and culture minister. It's the same minister for both departments because many of the issues pertaining to tourism intersect with culture, and there have been problems in the past. But we have an extraordinary minister who has been a hotelier himself. Think about it. I can't ask for a better minister than someone who has been a hotelier himself, who understands these problems far better than I can. I'm in this job for 10 weeks. I've invested in some hotels many years ago from the World Bank Group's financial proprietary capital. But this sector is absolutely new to me. But here's a minister who understands this as well or better than many of you in this audience. And the third thing, I think, is things coming together. There's a moment in history when things happen. Till 1990, if you think back, TCS was established in 1968 as the first IT company in the country. IT industry took off in 1991. That was its moment in time. You know what you say is a WhatsApp moment, as they call it.
Inflection point. That was the inflection point,
yes,
1991.
that was the inflection point. I believe with this government, especially with the push being given by the Honorable PM, the time for reforms 3.0 is well and truly with us. And I think industry, some of you have partnered with us in helping us mold some of the ease of doing business reforms. So I would like to say the confluence of things. The confluence is right. We have an extraordinary political leadership. We have good partners in the private sector. The inflection moment is here. The macros are very good. Our inflation is under control at 4 to 5 to 6%. Think of it, 2022. I just want to, I just met Mr. Dimitris, who I saw is from London. 2022, UK had an inflation rate of 13% and growth rate of 5%. Exactly the opposite of what we have. We had 8%, 9% rate of growth, some quarters more, and inflation rate of 5 to 6%. So I agree, it was for 1 year, and then UK has also now become better on the inflation front. All the macros are in place. And the push of this government is to make the leitmotif of this government is going to be reforms, reforms, and reforms.
And I absolutely agree with that, and that leads me well into my second question, sir, is that the way you said is that we are going to be in the reform 3.0 era, and we are seeing that get reflected in tourism. I mean, the announcement that was made that 50 world-class tourism destinations that are going to be set up. As an owner who's sitting in this room how should I look at this opportunity?
Yes, that's a great question. I think this is the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister at the governing body meeting of Niti Aayog last year. He mentioned something which was, for us, a kind of a mantra. And he said, look, all of us like inaugurating new things. We like creating new. Why don't we look at existing destinations and make each of them world-class? And how do we define world-class? No trash, no touts, ease of access, predictability in the journey, so that the journey becomes memorable. It shouldn't be that you land up at Taj Mahal and find it's not open. You land up at Khajuraho and you find it's closed for maintenance for the day. You don't know how to access a particular attraction. So we have come up with a scheme, and it was announced in last year's budget. We are moving full throttle this year onwards, which is about how can we pick up existing destinations. And one major part of that is creation of a destination management organization, or what we call a DMO. I'm sure many of you are familiar with DMOs around the world. Wherever there have been successful destinations, there has been a DMO driving it. In a complex and complicated ecosystem like India, and I've said this publicly elsewhere too, I think, in my humble opinion, there are only two countries in the world which are both complex and complicated. There's a difference between the two, China and India. And getting things done in a complex and complicated ecosystem like India, a DMO is essential for bringing together all the powers and regulations under a single authority. And one of these suggestions, this of course will be proposed by the states, but we are pushing very hard with the states on two particular aspects. One, each DMO must have a private sector partner. So the answer to your question,
oh, nice.
All the hotel owners sitting here, I would request you to please give it thought in your respective states, wherever the iconic destination or the 50 destinations get selected. Please consider becoming a partner of the government. You'll have to be a small equity partner. Government of India is putting in at each destination about 500 to 600 crores.
Great opportunity. And to be able to partner the government. I didn't know that you were inviting.
The states will have to propose. There are some states who are reluctant to partner with the private sector. I am sure there are enough private sector partners who are reluctant completely to partner with government. And for good reason. Absolutely for good reason. However, I would urge you to kindly look at a partnership. It'll be at those destinations. Cases in point, Kevadia Statue of Unity. When the Honorable Prime Minister was Chief Minister of Gujarat, from scratch, everyone told him this is not possible. And he made it possible. Today, please go and see the Statue of Unity, see the Run of Kutch. You will see a remarkable tourism influence area there, where it started off as the tallest statue in the world. The foreigners in the room who haven't been there, it is 4x the size of Statue of Liberty, 4 times. It's the tallest statue in the planet today. Please go and see it. It started off as a single statue, and now around it you have a whole bunch of attractions. You have a small zoo, you have an amusement park, you have various things which have come around, and there are hotels. So my request to all the private sector partners sitting here, please consider becoming a part of a DMO. It will mean a small equity investment. We are envisaging about roughly 500 crore rupees per destination from the Government of India. We are envisaging another 300 to 400 crores from every state for that destination. And the private sector to put a small sum, maybe 50 crores or 100 crores. And this is going to be for not just destination development, but destination management, with the clear understanding, and this will come out in the rules as well, you will get infrastructure status automatically. There's been one of the demands of industry to get infrastructure status, which has been pending for many years for whatever reason. But in this, it's there in the note which is going for approval. Whichever locations you're going to be at, you will get infrastructure status, which means you'll get capital at a far lower cost. And you'll get a whole bunch of other concessions along with it.
I'm telling you, Dr. Krishna, this is just phenomenal. I mean, you made really this morning happen. I had no idea that private sector
So this is not me. This is the Honorable Prime Minister and Honorable Tourism Minister. I am only speaking their vision.
But to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
At least I wasn't aware that the state government is going to be allowing private sector to come in and partner. And I saw my good friend Ashank, who's the head of Brookfield, who has like trillions of dollars under management, taking a note of it very quickly.
No, Anuj is a good friend. I plan to send it to him at some point once it gets approved. But I would urge all of you, anyone who wants to come in, think of it as a smaller version of, say, an Orlando. Think of it as a, you know, I don't know how many of you have been to Tirupati. Tirupati has a DMO without the private sector where all the functions, all the regulations come under the executive officer, including the police. So it does not for a moment, of course, it will mean carving out these things and putting it into this entity. And on the board of this entity will be private partners. Look, I don't want to name the group, but we have reached out to a couple of very prominent corporate groups in India. The Bodh Gaya Buddhist circuit has some issues, and a simple one being the lack of functional toilets. Now, I have reached out to a couple of the top corporate groups who agreed to do it. Their condition was, cleaning them we can't do. You have to find someone else to. So that kind of stuff government is not good at. We have to rely, and the DMO will hopefully have the wherewithal to independently, please read my lips as I say, the DMO's principal function is to raise and spend resources without asking government. Because the minute it goes into a government decision,
it will go into a loop.
It has other complications, which get solved, but gets solved with time. This will be independent when it comes to raising resources and spending resources.
This is, fantastic, Dr. Krishna. What really hit the note with me was when you said is that making new is very easy. To be able to go back to these 50 destinations and to be able to make sure that we are really taking care of them and bringing them up to the global scene. And I have a follow-up on that is, how should we look at India from a tourism point of view? Should it be world's most visited destination or the most valued?
Both. I mean, this is like a question you're asking, should a father favor his son or his daughter? It should be both. We want more tourists to come, both domestic and foreign. And as you are aware, the government, the major carriers have placed an order for 2,000 aircrafts. True. There is not enough capacity to deliver planes in the world. The single largest order book for a large passenger jet has gone from an Indian company. 2,000 aircrafts are going to come in the next 3 years. These will take our people out. We also want that aircraft to bring back people. It can't come back with the same people. So my hope is that tourism becomes such a value player and manages to pull in foreign tourists. We have had a stagnation in foreign tourist arrival. We are well aware of that. And we are working on various aspects of this to make it happen.
Absolutely. So it is both, that we want more,
yes,
but we also want the value to come up. What would make global travelers, as you rightly said, the numbers have stagnated. What would make the global travelers say India is not optional, it is essential?
Again, so when I look at the travel numbers, we find the stagnation has happened for various reasons. And one of the reasons is, not the only reason, is the fact that we have not been promoting as much as we should in various global markets. It's a fact. And we've not had a budget for this. This is out in the open. It's there in the media. And I'm the first to admit it. And we are trying our best to get back into the global market. Having said that, I would like to say that, someone we respect a lot, Mr. Kachru, we had a meeting of the faith leadership with the Honorable Minister day before yesterday in Delhi. And he was candid enough in front of everyone to say, we cannot wait for a government budget to promote tourism. Absolutely right. You look at other parts of the world, you look at America, look at Thailand, look at Vietnam. What is the government contribution? What is the private sector contribution? So we are committed to the ease of doing business. Yesterday when I arrived, I went straight from the airport to the Goa Chief Secretary's office to figure out what are they doing on ease of doing business. In my room, I have the list of permissions required for opening a 5-star hotel in Goa. It's 36. And in some of them, you get a deemed approval in 3 months if it doesn't get done. We are trying to bring that 3 months down to 1 month. We are trying to figure out, can the 36 be reduced? And for the first time in the, Honorable Prime Minister has set up a high-level committee under Shri Rajiv Gauba for ease of doing business. I took all of industry to present before him. That has gone off exceedingly well. And this week, the recommendations are going to the government, and we will start acting on them. But I'd like to pause here and say, it takes two hands to clap. We will do the ease of doing business. I'm committed to that. 35 to 105. In Delhi, I believe it takes 105 permissions to start a hotel. We will bring them down. We will rationalize them. We will make sure the timing is predictable and not very long. But having said that, the other hand must come up and say, you will invest.
Nice.
It can't be that we keep doing ease of doing business, but there's no private capital coming in. And we would request for all your support. At some point, I'm going to come back to industry with a request for helping us with promotion. This is not the stage to do it, but I will come back once we are ready, because at the end of the day, tourism is a B2B industry. It is for us as individuals, it's B2C. It's a B2B industry. And government has a role. We will work on, simplifying processes, on policy reforms. I am committed to doing that, and hold me to it. But at the same time, I will hold you all to invest in capital.
Yes.
If you don't invest capital after there's ease of doing business, then don't expect tourism to take off.
As you rightly said, you need both the hands.
Yes, indeed.
And you're committed to make it easier, but there has to be investment. And I can tell you, on behalf of the owners who are sitting in here, they are wanting to invest in it. And Dr. Krishna, the way the markets have rewarded them, the way that the domestic tourism has prospered, it is just phenomenal. So they're ready to do it. But
our research shows the foreign tourist spends 6x of a domestic tourist. So we have to get more foreigners in, which we are working on. That is something where we have to play a role. We are trying to, as I said, improve destination-level governance. We are trying to, you see our roads. I've driven extensively in Europe and in America personally, not officially. I've driven extensively. Our road, I-94, where I've driven for a large part of my life, is absolutely nothing compared to our highways. Our intra-city roads are not great. They are bad. But our intercity roads are far superior than America's highways today. And we have the core infrastructure. Look at our airports. Sam Chewy, the world-famous airline blogger, came to Bangalore recently, and he did a video blog on Bangalore Airport, where he said Bangalore Airport is as good, if not better than both Changi and Dubai. So the core infrastructure is in place. Think of our digital public infrastructure. There is no country in the world which has the India stack. And the India stack, today when you swipe, all of you swipe your Visa and MasterCard, you are automatically paying 3% or 3.5% to Visa and MasterCard for every swipe of yours. In India, perhaps the only country in the world where they have brought down their MDRs. Think of it. In the 200 countries in the world, their MDR remains 3 to 3.5%. Only in India have they brought it down. Why have they brought it down? They brought it down because UPI is free. And if we have that kind of a digital infrastructure where half the world's digital transactions go through India, now we are trying to build an India tourism stack on top of it. And I will talk about it another time, maybe in my speech in the afternoon. But the India tourism stack will leverage all these, also add a layer of generative AI on it to make it a seamless journey for the traveler end to end.
Very nice, very nice. I know it's time's up, but I cannot...
Mandeep has that button, and when he gets bored, he presses it and these things come.
I cannot let you go, sir. I do want to ask this, is that, you're known to enjoy music. You're known to sing. If India tourism was to be a song, which song would reflect its true emotions?
You've got me in after coming into this job, music has been zero. The only music is work. So I'll have to. Okay, let me say Kal Ho Na Ho.
Oh my
Kal ho na
God.
ho, so
Yes.
you have to come to India. You started by saying, should India become, how will India become an essential destination? So kal ho na ho, zindagi yahan aana hai.
Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure, absolute honor to.
Any question from
Sorry.
the audience? Or?
Yes.
Yes, please. Is there a mic?
Okay. We'll open for a couple of questions. I know there will be a lot of people who would want to. Guys, can we have the mics, please?
Mandeep is going rapidly to turn off the mics.
Right.
If somebody gives a mic, then.
Thank you, Anuj, and thank you for this fantastic opening session. I'm Sandeep Gupta, owner of JW Marriott New Delhi, and I've been looking at the Goa market for a very long time. Do you think there's a decline in tourist arrivals into Goa, and is there any particular reason for it?
Sorry, the question is that is there
there
a
any
decline
in tourist arrivals into Goa?
to Goa?
There's a lot of
decline in the
macro reports
There is a
about
decline.
in the
Of course,
last-
there's a decline.
Yeah. So what do you attribute it to? You have a new airport.
It is very
brand
well
new
known
airport.
why the decline is. Firstly, the chartered flights from various countries have gone down dramatically after COVID, and they have not resumed. Secondly, I was told in my review yesterday with the Chief Secretary and others that the domestic travelers have replaced them, and the high-value foreign tourists were not coming earlier. There was more of the backpackers variety. The domestic tourists have replaced them. Hotels have raised their prices, and hotels are sitting on good cash flows, but that has ruled out the backpacking tourists from coming.
Correct. I just came from 3 days.
And lastly,
Anjuna.
there have been law and order, there have been accidents,
Correct.
there have been issues at the airport, and all these also contribute.
So I've just come and spent about 3 days from North Goa and Anjuna. And you have a brand new airport, which is fantastic, and I'm glad it took place. But the infrastructure of the road network in North Goa is not catching up with what South Goa is. So why is there no development within the internal roads? I mean, it's just such a traffic hazard just to step out the road.
No, look, I don't know what is. Yesterday, the new airport director was also there at the meeting, and he claimed there are 55 arrivals or departures and 110 flight movements a day. For an airport which is less than 1 year old, I think that's reasonable. But why is it not catching up? I don't know. Maybe distance could be a reason. But this is a market issue. I don't think government can do anything here. Government has set up a good concession agreement, has gotten a private operator who's known to have done some good airports in Hyderabad and Delhi. Now, let's leave the rest to the market. I don't think government has an answer for these kind of things.
Good point. Vineet?
Yes,
Excellent speech, sir, as always. I'll take you up on your challenge. As Brigade Group, we have 9 operating hotels. We are constructing 10 more, so the capital is coming in for 10 more. The challenges that we face, we will probably take it offline with you as well over coffee. One is the so-called single window clearance, which we've spoken about for the last 100 years.
Sorry, repeat that line.
Single window clearance.
When you go into one window, there are many windows after.
In fact, we have a joke that, that single window opens up multiple windows.
Yes.
Or one more window.
Something that I request you to kind of look into that.
Yeah.
Other thing is, as you rightly said, each state has its own level of licensing approvals. Karnataka has more than 120. Chennai has 160. So, every state has different.
Can I get a list of those 120 and 160?
I have it ready, so I can WhatsApp it to you today.
Sure.
Which is what Dr. Krishna said
Yeah.
during
No, because the number I have for Tamil Nadu and for this is different. It's slightly lower.
So I'll
It's
give
not
it to you,
180 and one.
because 160 for Chennai is 160.
Kindly send it to me.
I'll do
I
that.
get, because see, we believe the numbers given to us by the industry association.
Correct.
When the association gives us one number and you give a different one, I'd like to see it.
So that we have a hotel in Gujarat as well. There's the lowest number as of today.
Yes.
That is
Gujarat, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh.
correct, sir.
These are very, very low. And hopefully we will, please give it to me. We have already, as I mentioned, the team from the Cabinet Secretariat went to Karnataka if I'm not wrong, on January 19th. And they've had the round of discussion. They'll be going back again. Please give it to me. I'll be more than happy to get it.
Sure, sir.
Awesome.
And one final thing, the CRZ norms in India. I think that's something you must do something about it. So there's a lot of confusion. I have a resort which we are constructing in Chennai, a seaside resort. It's been 6 months. There's no clarity on CRZ clearances. So I think
This is the one, the golf one in Mahabalipuram with the Hindu group.
Not Hindu, it's the brigade group, sir. We are
No, your partners of the Hindu newspaper, there's
No,
one which is stuck.
it's an independent property we are coming up with. 6 months, no clarity. We are still going from pillar to post.
CRZ and ASI are the two big elephants in the room. We are working on it. I cannot commit more than that
But I don't
because
think so
it will
you'll
not
be able
be,
to, because it's not
it
really
is not directly under me. But I have committed, we will do our best. Both CRZ and ASI, are with, the secretaries are excellent officers. There's Tanmay Kumar in environment and there's Vivek Agarwal, my batchmate. Both are very dynamic officers. They are people who get things done. They don't just talk. I have taken it up with them and I'm sure it will lead to something better.
Thank you so much.
Can we take one last question, please? Yeah. Please go ahead.
Mike.
Good morning, sir. I had the opportunity of saying hello to you outside. My name is Deepak Talwar. Anuj, good morning.
Morning.
Two questions, Dr. Krishna, that I have is, number one, when we start talking of doing ease of business, when I have to, as a hotelier, go and buy a peg measure from the Government of India and the Weights and Measures Act, and I have an inspector coming to measure the weights and measure how much liquid I'm pouring, and telling me there's 1 ml rest, where is the question of ease of business? That's one. So you need to focus on the smaller elements. The bigger elements are easily dealt with in an environment like ours. But the smaller elements which are affecting our business or doing business on a daily basis need to be really set right. Number two is, you mentioned about inflow of tourists. You mentioned about the great number of aircraft that we've ordered, etc. You need to appreciate that the number of aircraft that we've ordered is minuscule compared to what really is being made out to be. Number one, the order of wide-body aircraft is maximum 130 aircraft between Indigo and Air India. For a population of 1 billion people, you are talking of 120, 30 aircraft, which doesn't even scratch the surface. Number two, the government needs to refocus its thought from protecting airlines to protecting consumer. The consumer today does not exist in the government's thought process in the aviation business. With the result, what is happening is access to this country is so limited. You talk of reduction in tourism. The reduction of tourism is not because of your facilities that you don't offer. It is because you don't offer access. There is no access. The access today is minus pre-COVID in terms of destinations to India. You build airports till you don't fill them, how are you going to make money? So my request is, please focus on getting a bit more consumer-centric as to the airfares. When it comes to domestic airfares, the government jumps and lowers them. How about international airfares? Has anybody even looked at what the international airfares are today? That's what I meant.
Can I respond?
Please, sir.
On the second question, with, again, due respect, civil aviation is not my subject. My batchmate, Samir Kumar Sinha, is the secretary, who is again a very good officer. Having said that, government is not protecting airlines. There is no government airline left today. It's all a private airline. And
Sir, access is controlled by government. I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry,
Sir,
you are
the
wrong.
bilateral treaty,
Coming to that.
access to the country is controlled.
I'm coming to that. Should India give access to airlines from other countries when they don't give reciprocal access to us?
No.
I think, sir, reciprocal access.
I think we
is
can take it
absolutely
offline.
clear.
Out of the question. You have today a very prominent airline which for the last 15 years wants to come into India. One of the most prominent airlines which all of us in this room use. But they won't give us landing spots.
It's unfair.
Again, I don't know the mechanics behind it. I'm only telling you, prima facie, without a reciprocal thing, I don't think it's fair for government to agree. Having said that, you said 130 wide body. It's a private sector decision. Government cannot go to Indigo or Air India and say, buy more of this kind of aircraft or buy more of that kind of aircraft. I was told this yesterday again, 2,000 aircrafts of different type, orders have been placed. There is no capacity with either Boeing or Airbus to make them. They are delivering, I think, 1 plane per week or 2 planes per week. Now, how do I correct it? I can't. Coming to your first question, on measuring of land. Again, I repeat, whatever industry has given us, if measurement of land is in it, it will be looked at. If measurement of land is not there in it, well, the boundaries.
He's saying pegs, liquor.
Weights and measures is very much their part of it. Is very much a part of it. And weights and measures, in fact, in 1 or 2 states, they have done away with it also. There is also something called Sarai's Act, which is implemented, seems to be implemented only in Gurgaon to harass hoteliers. That is also being done away with. It's actually, tourism has taken steps to remove that a few years ago by one of my predecessors. We are sending out a letter again to everyone saying this is not applicable anymore. So yes, indeed, there are issues. I would also urge you to again think, I'll leave with that last point. The belief is government should get involved in everything. My belief is we shouldn't. The minute government gets involved, you want us to get involved, we will get involved. Then don't regret that we got involved. There are two sides to the story. Everyone likes to see the one side where government comes in and wants to, should be the savior, etc. I don't want to remind you what happened at Yes Bank. Government was asked to come in, it came in. I don't want to remind you what's happened in several airlines cases. But once it comes in, government has its own way of operating. We have our own compulsions. We have laws to follow. So if government comes in, then that other part will also come in with it. You can't expect government to come in and say, no, you should be like the private sector. It is not, otherwise it will be the private sector. So I request private sector to please help us, partner with us in making the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, where we want to take tourism from 5% of GDP today to 10%. Our employment, by the way, our GDP thing is only 5% of GDP is from tourism today. Employment today is 13.8%, which is a huge number. 13.8% of all formal employment comes from tourism. And our hope is that by 2047, we will be able to at least double it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We'll look forward to seeing you later this afternoon.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.